Oh man, I can hear again. It's unbelievable. Oh man, oh man, oh man. I just came from the ENT over at Boston ENT over in Needham, Massachusetts. Oh, it's unbelievable. I'm stuck in traffic now on 95. That's all why I'm recording. But oh man, it's so crazy. It's so crazy. He got in there. He got all that earwax that was packed around my eardrum. I know this is gross. It's really gross, and I'm talking about it because I have been in live sound and pro AV for over 15 years. In terms of like when I started volunteering doing live sound, I've done stagehand work professionally. I started doing, audio and lights and video for a small theater a long time ago. Started volunteering for my church a long time ago. I've read trade publications, I've listened to podcasts, I've read blogs. I keep up with the pro AV space. I keep up with the live sound, with the church tech space. I listen to the players in the industry, systems contractor news, the major publications, Sound and Video Contractor. I listen to Church Tech Weekly. I listen to Rave Publications, AV Nation podcast, AV Week, so I've been in the industry for a while. I keep up with it. I've not heard anybody talk about the importance of going to an ENT to get your ears cleaned out with wax, because it gets all packed in around there. And maybe they're out there. Maybe the articles are out there. The common thing I've heard is to use earplugs, to protect your ears by using earplugs, but never have I can't remember ever hearing somebody talk about this. So I got to talk about it, and I think it's just gross. People don't want to talk about like earwax because it has to do with like personal hygiene and stuff. But man, maybe you're doing it wrong. Maybe you're using ear Q-tips the wrong way, and you're over the years packing in little bits of wax there that get kind of hardened and crusty, and it's nasty. But man, I just saw Dr. Kessler, and he went in there and he did his thing. So he's got some special tools. He sprays the water in there, and he's got like a little vacuum that he sticks in there to kind of, it goes like right up against your eardrum. It's kind of crazy, actually. It's almost like that sound when you got a microphone that's really hot and you scratch your fingernail across it. It's almost like it feels like that's going on inside your ear. You can just hear the little chunks of things getting sucked up in there. But anyway, I'm going to make a video about it. I'm going to talk about it because it's so important to take care of your ears. And quite honestly, it's embarrassing to admit that I have not been doing a very good job at it. And maybe it's an awareness thing, or maybe it's just something people take for granted, or I think it doesn't get talked about enough. So anyway, if I talk about it in this video, I'm probably going to sound weird. It's probably going to be gross, but it's going to help somebody out there. Somebody out there is going to say, oh, Nate, that's a good point. I've been using Q-tips incorrectly as well, sticking it way down inside my ear canal and essentially doing more harm than good. And then what's the other thing for the live sound community, the audio engineering community, is you're told to use earplugs to protect against high dB SPL when you're working at a gig or a venue or whatever. And so what does that do? That shoves any wax buildup deeper in your ear canal anyway. So I feel like audio engineers are maybe even more susceptible to, some of this, I guess they call it impacted eardrums, when you get wax impacted all around and it gets kind of hard. So my report from Dr. Kessler there was, my right ear is like free and clear. He said he got a lot of stuff out of there and it's wide open, and the left ear there's still some buildup here, so he recommends that I still use the Debrox kind of loosening, softening agent, a couple drops at night, and let it soak in there. And then I have a follow-up visit in about a month to go back and just get that last little bit. And it is really interesting how I can hear the difference. Like it just sounds so much life sounds so much clearer coming out of this ear now, and I'm just wondering how that has affected my mixes and just doing post-production work. Oh man, I can hear details again that I forgot existed. It's just so bizarre how you live with it. So anyway, a little embarrassing, a little gross, but that's the deal. That's what's up. That's what's happening. Boston ENT. Pay him a visit. See Dr. Kessler. Tell him Nate sent you. Say, hey, I heard this crazy sound guy talking about live sound. He said to like get my ears checked out or something. And I'm actually gonna in addition to the wax cleanup, I'm going to get in the habit of scheduling some auditory testing as well, just to see how it affects, just, you know, you listen to the tones and just a hearing test, just get a regular hearing test. So I gotta get over to this other lane here. I gotta get into the routine of getting regular hearing tests. I think the last hearing test I had was probably over 10 years ago. What would have been really fascinating is if I went for a hearing test like yesterday and saw what my results were, and then had this deep clean done in my ears, and then listen after the fact. Oh man, maybe I'm just a dummy. Maybe everybody else just already knows this and nobody talks about it. But I'm gonna talk about it. You know, I bet you guys like Scott Wilkinson, they're probably up on all this. But man, I listen to Home Theater Geeks. They're talking about all this high-end audio gear. They're talking about op amps. They're talking about speakers. They're talking about headphones. They're talking about all these things in the signal chain. But what is the most important thing in the signal chain? And I've never heard. I guess I don't mean to call out Scott Wilkinson, because it is kind of gross. I don't, you know, who wants to listen to the home theater guy talk about earwax? Probably no one. So I'm not blaming him, but I'm just saying, what's the most important thing in the signal chain? Is it really the speakers, or is it your ears? You spend $100,000 on speakers, and you got earwax built up in there. You're not going to hear the detail. I don't know. Maybe I'll send a message to Scott and be like, hey, you got to have a taking care of your ears episode on Home Theater Geeks. You got to spread this awareness. I wonder, that'd be interesting to have like an ENT on, actually talk about, you know, how you're supposed to clean your ears and take care of it, because they got all these tools that they spray things in there. Of course, probably don't want the average Joe to be having those tools, because they probably do more harm than good, damage their eardrum if they don't know what they're doing. So I wonder what the best thing to do is. So anyway, this is my little awareness video about taking care of your ears. This is actually the second video now I've made about taking care of your ears. So I went to the doctor, they did a little flushing, sent me to the ENT. Now I just got out of the ENT, and I'm gonna have a follow-up visit with them in about a month. So, but man, when he went in there, he's like, all right, here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna spray some water in. It's gonna be warm water. You're gonna feel pressure. And he sprayed it in there, and he went in, turned on his little vacuum, little suction device, went in there, and he's, you know, rooting around. And at one point, he went right up against that eardrum. I could feel it in there, and it just like, it was like a switch flipped, and all of a sudden I'm like, oh, he got it. He got it out. I can hear again. Woohoo! I was like trying to contain my excitement, but now I'm all disoriented, because it's like, I've been hearing things a certain way for a long time, and now I'm like able to hear things on another level. So, and I can totally hear the difference between ears. Now, he told me, you know, your right ear is good and your left ear still has a little bit of buildup that you got to work on with those drops. Because I got a prescription for these. Actually, I think D-Brox are over the counter. I don't think you need a prescription for it, but you just put a couple drops in there to loosen things up. But I can totally hear the difference now. It's almost as if there is a high-end roll-off filter. So a low pass filter or a high cut filter applied to my left ear. It's really bizarre how much of a difference it makes. Especially because they were both plugged before, so I just kind of got used to that. Now my right ear is completely free and clear, and my left ear's got a little bit of junk built up in there. Oh man, Josh, I hope you're listening to this in the office lobby there. So when people come into the church lobby, they hear me talking about earwax. Oh, that's nasty. Maybe Kate's cooking dinner in the other room. Maybe this will be my last video about earwax. No promises, though. No promises. Actually, I think I think Josh was telling me at Mythbusters, they did a Mythbusters with like, somebody wrote into Mythbusters about the Shrek thing. You ever seen the movie Shrek? Where Shrek pulls out a big clump of earwax and makes it into a candle. And I guess somebody wanted to do a myth busting to see if that was actually possible with human earwax. Oh, that's nasty. And I guess they tried to do it with human. They had tried to make a candle with human earwax, and I guess they failed. I guess it's not the right consistency apparently to make into a scented candle. Oh, how nasty was that? Okay, that's enough. That's enough talking about earwax, I think. So, anyway, take care of those ears. Take care of those ears. You're not a tough guy if you refuse to wear earplugs, and get them cleaned out. Go see your ENT. Get tested. I'm excited for going for my audiology test and seeing what I can actually hear, what I can't. Because I pride myself on being able to like listen really well to a mix and know, okay, we got to turn the bass up, we got to turn the bass down, we got to turn the vocals up, we got to add a little compression here. Like, critical listening is very important to me to be able to diagnose a mix and be able to make sure everything can be heard and at least have control over that. So I just wonder how much this will impact that type of stuff, and I wonder how I'll perform on a test. I gotta pull up my papers from when I had a hearing test way back. Now, from what I remember, at like 16, 17 kilohertz, on one ear there was a big dip, and on the other ear there wasn't. And I wonder if that was because I had some of this wax buildup on one ear and not the other. You know, because that's like, I'm just remembering the hearing test I had 10 years ago and remembering that one ear was definitely different than the other ear, and thinking, oh, that's really weird. What happened? Did I have like a firework blow up next to my ear? Or, I'm just trying to think through life experiences. I did have a firework actually blow up. Actually, that's another story. I had a firework go off inside of a car that I was in. But that's a story for another day. If somebody wants to hear it, comment below, and I'll make another video about why I was in a car with an exploding firework. So I always thought that had something to do with it, but maybe it was just earwax. Maybe my hearing test will improve 10 years later. That might be pretty cool. Well, traffic is moving. I'm on Route 2 headed west right now. So I think that'll do it for this video of the Volunteer Tech Vlog. Man, hope I didn't gross anybody out too bad. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. My name is Nate, and this is the Volunteer Tech Vlog. I will see you in the next video. Cheers.